The following content contains adult subject matter, including sensitive material, and is intended for adult consumption only. It may not be suitable for all audiences, therefore, discretion is advised. Lele Pons is not a trained expert, but is using her personal experiences to create a space for sensitive discussions.
Hey everyone, it's Lele Pons here. Welcome to the first episode of Best Kept Secrets, my brand new podcast exclusively on Spotify. You may know me from my content on Instagram, YouTube, or my music. Back in May, I actually talked to the world about something I had never publicly spoken about before, which was me having severe OCD, Tourette syndrome, and having an amazing gay dad. And that felt so good to open up and share my story because it made me realize that I am 100% not alone, and I had the opportunity to speak to amazing people who were going through the same or similar situations that I was going through, which is why I wanted to do this podcast in the first place, because I want you guys to have a comfortable place to come and talk about whatever you need to talk about, which is why for every episode, I will speak to two anonymous callers who will have their chance to open up and vent. And this show is a no judgment zone, and no topic is off limits. Anything from crazy arrests, secret fantasies, relationship scandals, we're gonna talk about it all. And I'm here to listen, talk about it with you, and help if I can. I want us to create a community where we can all be there for each other and listen to each other. And if you have a secret that you want to share on the show, you can head over also to shots.com/secrets to submit your story. Another thing you can do is actually tweet me and comment on my Instagram with your thoughts on the show. It would be really helpful. Now, I am super excited and cannot wait any longer, so let's jump in and take our first call.
Hi there.
Hey, welcome to my podcast.
Thank you.
It's great to have you, and I'm sure the listeners and me are really excited to hear about your secret. Thank you for sharing with us.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Before we start, I just want to know, what's your name and what do you want me to call you?
You can call me Celeste.
Okay, cool. So Celeste, what is your secret?
So my secret is that I actually go to underground BDSM dungeons.
Oh, I have no idea what it means, but can you explain it to us?
Sure. So I go to different sex clubs. I live in a very progressive town, but nobody really knows that these exist. And so...
How did you find it?
I actually discovered it through a hookup from Tinder, actually. And
no way.
Yeah, it was kind of like a movie kind of situation in which he wanted me to like meet him in a hotel, like in a bar, and then kind of mentioned these parties to me. And I was curious and decided to check it out.
Hey, that's amazing. And look, now you love it. Everything happens for a reason.
Exactly.
So tell me about these dungeons.
It's not like in an actual dungeon anymore. I don't even know why it has that name, but there's a couple within my city, and you kind of have to know somebody who knows somebody in order to find out about them. And you go up to the door and let them know your name and have to be on the list, and then you can go in.
Sex clubs, right?
Yes, but it's more like BDSM oriented.
Oh, okay. So what do you do in these sex clubs? Besides sex, obviously.
Well, that's not actually the biggest part of it. The biggest part of it is typically, doing different like kinks and like BDSM, like spankings and whipping and different kind of like kinky play. But typically, I like to watch. I don't always interact.
Ah, okay. And how old were you when you first found out about this?
I found out about them when I was 18, but I really didn't start attending probably until I was like 21, 22.
Okay. And are you the only one that knows about this? Like your family knows, or you go with a friend, or you know people that go?
Yeah, that's the thing, is that nobody really knows. After I started attending more like frequently, I told a couple close friends, but nobody in my family knows. So it'd be, I would stay up until 5 a.m. on a Tuesday night, doing some pretty wild stuff, and then show up to work the next day in my conservative job and kind of be smirking to myself, knowing what I had done just a couple hours before.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy because it's like a double life. You're like a sexy Hannah Montana.
Oh my God, I love that. Yeah, I definitely have like a secret name, and a lot of people go by like different aliases or wear masks and that sort of thing.
Are there like really hot guys?
Yeah, they're definitely. I mean, it kind of depends upon what you're into, but there's a lot of very attractive, sexy people that go. There's also, a spectrum, for sure.
So since I know you and we're like cool now, like you can recommend me and I can enter because I know you, or is that how it works?
Yeah, I mean, I would have to vouch for your character, but I'm sure that you would have a great time as long as consent is like the most important thing there. And as long as you're cool, then everybody's cool with you.
What is like the weirdest and funniest thing you've seen there?
Oh my God. So I don't even need to think about that. Just instantly what comes to mind is, so I was in, this dungeon, the sex club, and walking around, and all of a sudden I see this like, very sexy dominatrix woman, all dressed in leather and a corset. And she is tying this like very large man to a chair. And he has clown makeup on. What? And so I'm like, okay, like I need to watch this. Yes. And so I start watching, and she proceeds to like tie all these balloon animals and like tie them to him, and then like take a whip and like whip them off of him. And she even like gave him like a pie.
Oh, like, bah!
Yes.
Like
and she gave him like a whipped cream pie in the face. And he was loving it.
That is so creative.
Yes, he was dressed as a clown the entire time, and it was I like couldn't look away. I didn't want to. It was really funny. So
you can't film there, right?
No pictures, no phones allowed at all.
A clown, and then oh my God, who is this lady? Did you talk to her? Were you like, wow, that's amazing, you're very creative?
I did not. They like had a pretty long scene, and so I didn't watch the whole thing, but yeah, it included like pie in the face and the balloon animals, and she like painted his face. I think she threw like water balloons at him at some point.
And this guy's loving this water balloons.
Oh my God, he's just eating it up. Like he loved every second of it. And yeah, that was probably one of the strangest, most hilarious things I've ever seen.
I think it's the strangest sex scene I've ever seen.
Yeah.
To be honest, and that thing of like whipping the pie and the balloon exploding.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really funny.
And you see them actually have sex.
Yeah. People have sex, like group sex. And I mean, there are sex parties that are like specifically for sex that I've gone to too. But I definitely fall more into like the BDSM kind of kinky scene.
I wonder, like, do you learn like any moves?
Yeah, totally. And I feel like I'm kind of like a nerd when it comes to sex. Like I could talk about it forever. And so definitely when you get a bunch of people that are really into sex together, like we just get creative and like, have the ability to kind of stop and be like, oh, do you want to try this or do that or whatever?
Do you know any, because listen, I've always tried to find like new sex positions. Is there a sex position that's different that you've learned there?
I mean, I'm not sure if you would be into the things that I'm into, but there was one time
I mean, maybe I am. I don't know. I like
maybe.
Sex.
Okay, well, that's cool. Well, I like really get into like degradation and that sort of thing. And so
what is that? What is degradation?
It's kind of like being talked down to, or like, oh, you look so stupid, or like, what a fucking whore you are.
I love that stuff.
Yes,
that makes me horny. When people are trash talking or like things are not going or things that are unfair make me horny. It's weird. I'm not kidding. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to like tell you a secret that I have. I once masturbated when I lost a Mario Party game. Because it was so unfair, and like they took when Yoshi took my star was so fucked up. It gave me like tickling thing, and I remember, and I couldn't believe this shit. Like there's some things that turn people on. For example, like maybe losing or when you were trash talked to, or when people call you certain things that makes me horny, for example. I didn't know that.
Oh,
but it did.
Well, cool. Yeah, there's a whole kink around that, and that's like part of one of my biggest ones. And so my partner at the time, he somehow, I don't even know like how flexible and how he was able to balance, because like I've used a strap on, and that is not easy. But he like somehow was like fucking me from behind, like face down, ass up, but like had his foot on my face while like balancing on like one other leg. So it was not like too different for me. I mean, it was super hot, but like that was definitely different from like I've never seen a dude do that before.
What position do you call that?
The
ninja? The foot position?
A foot whore.
A foot whore. Okay, cool. I'll call it that. I'll try it. I'll be like, can you put your feet in my face and one of them down?
Yeah, perfect. It's good. God. It's a good move.
What will you not do?
What will I not do?
Yeah.
Oh, God. There's not much that I won't do. I think that I mean, there's like a whole fetish around like poop, and that's never going to happen.
Yep. That's never going to happen for me either.
So I'm not super into like, this is going to sound really funny,
normal sex?
But like, yeah, I'm not into normal sex at all. I find it boring and unfulfilling. But I mean, I can come, 100%. But like, it's just not like, I'm just like, oh, okay, like, where's the flavor? Where's the zest?
Unless you're like in love with the person.
Yeah, exactly. But that's a big thing for me is that like, you can like degrade me, you can beat me, like call me horrible names, spit in my face.
Same with me.
Gotta come to one of the clubs and learn something.
I am considering it.
I don't like a lot of like intimacy. Like I am not super into like, if I don't know you like that, don't like try to kiss me. I'm not into like the super sensual kind of play, like only with somebody that I'm really like am in a relationship with.
Yeah. And have you ever like run into someone you knew at this club?
Yeah. I ran into a girl that I went to high school with. Yeah. And we kind of just like locked eyes.
Small world.
Yes. And kind of looked at each other and just did the head nod and then like continued on our way. Like nothing had happened.
Left. Yeah.
We never talked about it.
Then you see each other in like a family reunion, and then again you look at each other. It's like forever you'll just be looking at each other and nodding.
You know what? I actually dated a girl for a few years, and I met her at one of these parties. And so my mom, like, she asked me, oh, how did you meet your girlfriend? And so I had to come up with something on the fly, and I'm really bad at lying. And so I told my mother that I met her at my college. And it just so happens that my mom is also, like, she went to the same college. And so when she met my girlfriend, she's asking her all these, like, because my mom is just like, she always knows when something's up. And so she's asking her all these super specific questions. And so my girlfriend and I had to practice, like, okay, this is the campus you are on. This was the name of your professor. And not only that, but she said she was the same major that my mom was.
Oh it can get a little awkward. So even worse. Yeah. Now it goes to another loophole.
I'm not a good liar. I kind of dug that one. She was not pleased with me.
I think I'm a really good liar. I mean, it depends.
That's a great skill to have.
Lying about.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great skill to have. I have to practice.
I think it's because I start believing what the fuck I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's how you got to do it.
Yeah. And do you like more boys or girls, like when it comes to sex? Who do you think is better?
I'm like, I have this really horrible disease that I'm like addicted to cock, but like I way prefer women. Like women are beautiful and like way more like sumptuous.
And they know what to do with yourself, like with
exactly.
They know how to like make you come.
100%.
I've heard that.
Yes, they're so much better. Like in terms of like the pleasure, but like
going down.
And going down. But like I just really like cock, so it's unfortunate because most men are trash.
100%. Most men don't even know what the fuck they're doing.
Not in the slightest.
Not in the slightest. Ew, I had one guy who was literally, I was having sex with him and he was just like, wow, you're such a woman. What? I was like, ew, you're supposed to be the one that's like,
what's that mean?
Like the man. And I feel like I'm the man.
Oh.
You remember that? Oh yeah, mommy, you're so hot. No. Don't tell me I'm hot. Tell me I'm ugly. I like that. I'm going to say that to the next person. People are going to be like, okay, I need to go. Mm-hmm. Some people don't like that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Although I am dating an Argentinian guy right now.
And did you find him in the sex club, or does he know about the sex club?
Yeah, I actually, I met him at this kinky bar, and he walked up to my friends and I because my friend was actually whipping me, and he started asking questions about it. Yeah. And,
like what? Like does it hurt?
Kind of, yeah. And so my friend goes, would you like a try? And so my friend actually ended up.
Oh no!
Yes, and so my friend actually ended up like whipping him. And yeah, it went pretty well. And like a year later, he went to my birthday party, and I was like, oh, here you are. I remember you.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and so we started dating.
Yeah, you whipped me.
Yeah.
Oh God.
No, he got whipped.
He got whipped. Oh, remember when we whipped you? So I wonder, how do you tell your parents, but let's say you're going to get married, and you'll be like, I remember when I first saw you, like, what is the story you're going to tell? Like, you can't be like, listen, I remember when I first met you and we whipped you.
So my mom, I think she thinks I'm low-key an alcoholic because the way that I introduce all my kinky friends to her is, oh yeah, we met at this happy hour I go to. And it's always like, oh yeah, we met at a bar. And so my mom just thinks that I go to bars all the time. And I'm okay with her thinking I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah,
I don't need
I
her
was
to
gonna say,
know the
at
rest.
least let her think that, please.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. I used to try to tell her the truth, like jokingly. Like she'd be like, oh, like how's your weekend? Like what have you been up to? And I'd be like, oh yeah, I had a great weekend. Like hung out with friends, went to a sex dungeon, went out to brunch. And she'd be like, what? And I'd be like, Mom, I'm just kidding. Like just trying to like.
you told. Oh shit! Yeah, no, that's a good way to find out what her reaction would be.
Right, exactly.
Wow, I should do that. I'll be like, Mom, like I had sex with this person, or whatever, and she'd be like, what? No, I'm just kidding. Oh my God, I would never have sex with this person. You know, like
exactly.
I should do that.
Yes, exactly. And then you're telling the truth. You're not doing anything wrong by lying.
I said the truth. Now, did you accept it? Nope.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that from now. I'm gonna tell her the truth and then say, I'm kidding. Just
okay, yeah, you should try that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
If she listens to this, though.
Oh, yeah, no, she's gonna listen to this.
Oh, God.
She is. I'm telling you right now. I just want to say thank you so much from me and everyone listening. You're amazing, and thank you for telling us your secret.
Yeah, thanks so much for listening, and you've been so fun to talk to.
Thank you. Watch me fucking see you in the sex dungeon. Watch me.
I hope so. Yes, you've got an invite from me. I'll put your name on the list.
Thank you. I'm so excited. Thank you. You know what? This call actually made me think a lot. If I found out by myself that there was a club like this, I actually would go in. You know, we're all humans. We all love sex, but we don't really share that because it's personal and we bottle it up. We don't really talk about it. But inside, we're humans. We all want the same thing. Now, some people are obviously more into sex or have an extent to it. Me, for example, I would be like the girl, to be honest. I would. And there's a movie called 365 Days. The movie is about this this beautiful guy who kidnaps a girl and gives her 365 days to fall in love with him. And if she doesn't fall in love with him after a year, he sets her free. Doesn't have to see him ever again. But during that year, he seduces her in very sexual ways. And that movie, when it came out, it was a phenomenon. It was trending worldwide. Why? Because even if you don't want to admit it, a lot of people were watching the movie because they probably, they were sexually frustrated at their house during quarantine. And, also with porn. Porn is super famous. These movies is famous. The books, 50 Shades of Grey, famous. Why? Because we all have that we're not gonna, let's say, we're too afraid to show, so we might see it in a movie. We might read it in a book. We might see it in porn. But this girl actually took a step, and I was like, no, I don't want to just see it. I want to live it. And that's, it takes balls, but I would be that person, but I just don't know where the damn dungeon is. I think that what she did is great, and I applaud her. And I don't know about you guys. Comment if you would ever go to this dungeon. I would go. Maybe you guys know someone that would. I don't know how I'm gonna get into this club. All right, guys, that was our first call. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to be back with our second call. Let's see what happens. All right, guys, welcome back to Best Kept Secrets. Before we start the second call, I want you guys to know that I have released amazing merch for you guys. It is on lilshop.com/Lele. Use the discount code SECRETS for 20% off. That is lilshop, lilshop.com/Lele. And now it's time for our second call. Let's jump in.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
Well, we are really excited. I'm doing great. We're really excited to hear about your story and your secret. But what we want to know, what do you want us to call you?
You can call me Petra.
Petra. Okay, cool. So Petra, we're dying to know, what is your secret?
Okay, so when I was 12, my parents got divorced, and right after they got divorced, my dad decided to do some online soul searching, specifically for women that are in different countries and focused on the Philippines since I'm half Filipino. Mm-hmm. So that's where he met my stepmom online through this dating website. And pretty much after meeting them, he brought them back to the US so that he could marry her.
Okay. And your mom married somebody else, right? Or she just divorced and that's it?
just divorced, and she wasn't really part of our lives. And um, pretty much he met her online and paid for her to come to the US and married her like straight away so that she could become a US citizen and work here and all that stuff.
Oh my gosh, so you can just get a person and pay for them to marry you?
Pretty much.
Where is this site?
I think the site was called .com or something like that.
I need a man. And if I can marry him, even better. There's for boys too, right?
I hope so.
Wow. Okay. I'm sorry. This is very interesting for me because I'm so done looking. I'm done looking for guys. I'm just gonna go straight to it. That's amazing. So your stepmom, and so you have now a stepsister.
Yes, and so my parents were like, my dad and my stepmom were married for 7 years, and throughout that 7 years, he paid for her dental school so that she could become a dental assistant, and then adopted my then stepsister, and now she's my sister. And to really repay him, my stepmom ended up having an affair with my stepdad, who is married to my mom.
Sorry, I'm just trying to put the puzzle here together. And they got together?
Yeah.
So both your stepmom and your stepdad got together?
Yeah. And not only did they have an affair, they ended up having a baby together.
So whose baby is it? Are you sure it's your stepdad's or your dad?
So that was a really big thing throughout her whole pregnancy. It was kind of this back and forth between my dad and my stepdad of whose child it was, because we didn't really know, because she was kind of, I mean,
is your stepdad and your dad look alike?
No, they're they're both white guys, but they're very different in personality and in physical appearance too.
Okay. And the baby's not born yet?
She had the baby.
Okay.
And it was like this huge Maury reveal, and it ended up being my stepdad's baby.
Oh, okay. Jeez, that's horrible. What a bitch.
Right? She makes the evil stepmother look like an angel.
I know. My God, I feel so bad for your dad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and with some encouragement from me and my siblings, my dad divorced my then stepmom. And to this day, my stepdad, who's still married to my mom, and my ex-stepmom lived together and raised...
What? Wait. So you're telling me your dad still lives with your stepmom and your mom?
My stepdad.
Your stepdad?
Yeah.
And your dad? No.
My dad he's cut himself off from that drama.
Of course, I would too.
Yeah. And so, yeah, my stepmom, my ex-stepmom, and my stepdad, he's still my stepdad because he's married to my mom.
He wants to have
They live together.
He wants to have a fucking threesome every night.
Pretty much. It's just a really strange situation. My mom like babysits the baby for them sometimes. Like, I honestly have no clue what's going on with that.
God, no one wants to say anything? No one wants to go into the house and be like, you guys are fucked up?
We have.
What?
We have told them that.
And your stepsister, like the other one?
Yeah, my sister, she lives with her mom because that's her biological mom.
Okay.
I mean, she knows it's a crazy situation, but we're still there for her, and we are supporting her and helping her through this.
Yeah, I feel like a therapist. I'd say fuck that side of your family, the mom side of your family, and just stick with your dad. My God. Right? Yeah. Do you tell your friends about this?
No, it was I find it really embarrassing. I just feel it's kind of like this deep drama. It's like my life was an episode of 90 Day Fiance.
But it has nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? Have you ever gone to like therapy because of this?
Yes, it was throughout their marriage because they had a bit of a rocky marriage. And they were married for 7 years, which is like kudos to them for getting through that. But throughout it was just a rough start, and like throughout their marriage, we just had family counseling and everything and the whole 9 yards, but it didn't really do much.
And is your stepmom that type of stepmom? When she sees you, she's like, hey babe, like she acts like nothing ever happened?
Oh yeah.
I hate that. I hate them. Fuck you. Right? You fucking ruined my life. Nah, I hate when people are just so obnoxious that they're like, everything is fine. Like, hi, how are you, baby? I miss you. Like, no, you fucking don't. Like, I hate people like that act like nothing has ever happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Fake. I like, really fake. Like,
super fake. Really though, two-faced.
And what do you say?
I'm just, I'm trying not to be rude. I mean, a big thing in Filipino culture is not to be rude to your elders. And so she is my elder, and I'm like in this boat where I'm like, I can't really be rude to her.
Well, good for you.
But at the same time, like, I hate her. So.
Wow. No. That's not me. I can't. I don't have a poker face. I can't do a poker face. I'd probably do a huge scene, in like a family barbecue one day. Huge scene. Throw the chairs around. I've done that before when somebody fucks me up. Like, what about your other family, like the family with your dad's side? Like, does your family besides your mom and your dad like know all about this?
Yeah, my whole extended family know about the drama and everything. They don't approve of it. Like my mom's side of her family, they don't approve of her actions.
They're probably like, I don't know what the hell happened to her. She hit her head.
Yeah, like they think like something must have like happened.
Triggered
like
her,
she
yeah.
might have gone through like a midlife crisis or something.
Well, now you know what not to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's intense.
You can't really buy love, so.
That's crazy. And are you an only child?
No, I have 2 other siblings.
Oh wow.
I'm a middle child.
What do they say about this?
My older brother is kind of like, really didn't have a good time with it. He was like really, really hated her. And then my younger sibling just, he was just kind of like Switzerland, was kind of like, I'm there for my dad, but I also don't really like her, but I can't be mean to her.
I feel like I'd be like your older brother. I just hate her and that's it. I can't just like applaud or like pretend everything's fine without kind of justice. I'm really like a justice person. Like, if I don't get it, I just don't get over it.
Yeah, definitely.
And like, do you know how it happened? Like, is your mom also interested in her, or she just like went along because she doesn't want to lose her new husband?
I think it really was because she didn't want to go through a divorce again.
Oh, okay.
And so she kind of has just pushed down all her feelings of negativity and just kind of is living like, okay, this is her life now.
And the baby, it's not your brother, obviously, or your sister, because they're both step parents.
Yeah. She has no relation with me. When she was born, it took a while for my dad to divorce from my stepmom. And so I was living with this baby up until she was like 2 years old. And so it was really hard to adjust, like living with a baby that you have no relation to, but is just kind of there.
Honestly, that is, I have no idea. I've never heard about this, to be honest, but I just don't support what your stepmom and your stepdad did at all. Oh yeah.
Like, I wish her the best and hope that they're doing great. I just want them to stay away from my family.
Yeah. They've caused a lot of drama. Oh my God, I can't. It's like a telenovela. It's like a soap opera.
Really though.
But thank you so much. Thank you for also staying positive through all of this. I'd be screaming and yelling right now. But thank you for sharing this with us. I bet everybody would say the same thing. Fuck your stepmom and stepdad. Seriously. After everything your dad did. Oof. Thank you for sharing.
You just gotta stay positive.
Yes, you do. Well, I need to practice being like you.
Thanks.
All right. Can we just talk about how positive and incredible this girl is? I mean, the things that she's gone through, and she's still like super happy and like talking to me. I mean, I know it happened a long time ago, but I can tell like she doesn't have remorse. And a lot of people, no matter how long the time goes, they still have something in them. And I can't believe she even said like she was like taking care of the baby and stuff. And I mean, I personally can't do that. I don't have a poker face. I can't do that no matter what. But I do admire the fact that she's so strong. And I feel like many people should be like that, even though it's very hard. But once you actually reach that level of being like that, you're good. You're going to heaven. I'm still debating where I'm going to go. But to be honest, like, I applaud her and I know that we support her. So I don't know. Well, guys, that's a wrap on our very first show. I'm feeling super good right now. I was very nervous, but right now, after talking to Celeste and Petra, I feel so much better. I had this idea for this podcast for a while now, and to actually see the whole thing come together is just so amazing. I want to thank you all so much for listening, and I want to send a big, big thank you to Celeste and Petra for calling in. You all got a chance to hear our callers and listen to some of my thoughts on their secrets, but I really want to hear what you've got to say. At the end of every episode, I'm going to ask a question that is still going through my mind in hopes of getting your feedback. Head to my Instagram stories and you will see it right there. For this week's question, I want to talk about sexual exploration. I don't think I'm quite ready to visit a sex dungeon yet, but Celeste's secret did remind me of this one experience that I had where I told this guy that I wanted him to role play with me, but he had a different idea of what that meant, and it was really awkward, and I'm just going to leave it at that. And going back to Celeste's story, she did teach me one thing, which is that I have to be more specific with what I want in bed. So here's my question. Do you like being dominated in bed? I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. I'll be reading and responding to as many of you as I can. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I'll see you next Wednesday with another exciting episode of Best Kept Secrets with me, Lele Pons.
If you or someone you know are struggling emotionally, text START to 741-741 for a confidential chat anytime.
Bum, bum.
Thanks for listening to Best Kept Secrets with me, Lele Pons, only on Spotify in partnerships with Shot Studios. The Shot Studios original team includes creators John Shahidi and Sam Shahidi, my lovely producer Belinda Mercer, and audio editor Stephen Colon. From Spotify Studios, executive producers Javier Pinol, Liz Gately, Gina Delvac, and Danny Treboj. And a special thanks to Dan Behar, Jessica Molina, Francisco Quijada, and Julio Pabon. I'm Lele. Follow me on Instagram at Lele Pons and check out my exclusive merch at lilshop.com. That is lilshop, Lil shop.com. Talk to you next week.